So I go away for a couple months. As you can tell, I'm in a new place. We've moved, set up a new job, everything. I go away for a couple months, and when I come back to the YouTube channel, PSG is just dominating everyone. And that is not what I expected. I expected a complete collapse because they've lost three of the generational players. So let's find out how PSG got so much better after they lost Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe. Here we go.
PSG are one of the best teams in the world right now. They beat Liverpool at Anfield, knocking out the league phase table toppers in the round of 16 despite losing the first leg in Paris. They also look like they want to complete an invincible league campaign and maybe even a European treble. But all of this is so shocking because no one would have expected the team to be this good right now. They very recently lost three of the best players of this generation, so you can't blame anyone for expecting them to slump. I mean, Barcelona suffered after losing Neymar and Messi. Monaco suffered after losing Mbappe. But somehow PSG managed to get much better after losing Messi, Neymar and Mbappe. How the hell? Coupled with Neymar's injuries, Messi's...
A little copyright issue there. That's why it skipped. Yeah, so I was doing just a little preliminary research trying to figure out what's going on with PSG because they've been one of the things that I've been, consistent about. I dislike PSG. I just have since the beginning of my football journey and learning about it. I've just never liked PSG. And I'd never expected them to become so dominant right now. I would have predicted after they've lost these, generational talents and squandered their talent, squandered their opportunity, their potential, that PSG would just sort of become irrelevant. But here they are, and they are dominating. They just destroyed Real Madrid in the Club World Cup. They dominated the Champions League final. They're doing great, and this is not what I would have expected.
His adaptation issue. Neymar wanted more credit, and Messi just wanted to play his game. The team just felt disorganized. Many times, there was a power struggle when it came to penalties. Then there's the problem of coaching. Before the current coach, the last top manager PSG had was Thomas Tuchel, and well, he got them to their first ever Champions League final. Now, instead of continuing on that path, they sacked him and signed Maurizio Pochettino, who had never won a trophy in his career at the time. Little wonder he missed out on the league title in his first season. Just think about it for a second. In 2021, PSG put together one of the best teams in the world, which had names like Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, Sergio Ramos, Keylor Navas, Hakimi, Donnarumma, Di Maria, and Verratti. But they decided...
Crap, what a team. Just with him rattling off those names from someone like me, and you guys know I got into football only a couple years ago, and you know how much I've struggled with players and learning players. He just rattled off names that I know very well their place in football. So that's an amazing lineup. What a squad right there.
Decided to put Pochettino in charge. It's like buying a Ferrari and giving the keys to a student driver. It made absolutely no sense. Okay, they realised they got it wrong, so they let Poch go in 2022. With the likes of Zidane and Enrique available, they decided to go for another inexperienced fella in Christophe Galtier, simply because he beat Poch to the league in 2021. Both Poch and Galtier were ousted in the round of 16 of the Champions League in back-to-back seasons with the best squad in the competition. Mind you, this was a team that had reached the semi-finals in 2021 and the final in 2020. But they brought in Messi and somehow the team became worse. Anyway, after back-to-back failures, they finally decided to do the right thing by signing Luis Enrique. In his first season, having lost both Neymar and Messi, he led the team to the semi-finals of the Champions League. But even more importantly, you could see how he was managing his squad. When it was certain that Mbappe would be leaving at the end of the season, he started to give him less and less responsibilities so that the team could learn to do it without him. That right there is
Good
a
coaching
proper
right there.
manager. But there's
Yeah.
one more thing. We'll tell you in a second, but if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, take a second to do that now so that you never miss out on our amazing content. Now back to the video. You see, apart from being able to manage the egos, one thing a top coach like Enrique brings to a team is good squad building. Instead of putting together another group of superstars, they started to focus on building an actual team. Players who actually complement each other on the pitch. Let's face it, Messi, Neymar and Mbappe are all world-class players for sure, but they never really complemented each other on the pitch. So it was a little problematic. That is what Enrique has tried to solve. He signed Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, João Neves, Desiree Doué, Kang-in Lee, Bradley Barcola, Beraldo, Pacho and a couple of others. Look at these players. What do they have in common? They're all young, talented, mostly technical.
It's that classic tension between building a super squad with stars or building a team with parts that complement each other to make a great team. And it's such a temptation when you're a big club and you have the money to just go buy the best players and just throw them out there on the pitch. But you're seeing here how that strategy never works long term. You never see a dynasty built out of just buying the best player, at least from my vantage point. And you guys probably can let me know in the comment section below if there was ever a dynasty or a kind of a powerhouse team that dominated for a long time that just was built with the buying the most expensive, shiniest, and flashiest players. Most of the time that doesn't work. Most of the time those teams that dominate are built through good team building, through a good youth academy, and they grow their talent from the bottom up, and they're dominant for years. And so I guess this is just illustrating that tension there. It's still so tempting, even still, to just say, let's go get some great players and put them up front, see if we can score some goals.
And hungry. No ego, no superstardom, just ballers ready to ball. But of course, he won't always get it right with his signings, but when he didn't, he wasn't afraid to move on from those players like Kolo Muani, Asensio and Skriniar, all of whom was shown the exit door this January. Now, after assembling a good team, he got the boys to start playing good football. They have an insane connection on the pitch and they're always playing fluid football. They create a truckload of chances every playing good football. They have an insane connection on the exit door this January. Now, after...
Is this not Victor Wembanyama? The basketball player? I know he's from Paris. I don't know. I was confused why this was showing up in I'm not tripping, am I? That is Victor Wembanyama. He's like ridiculously tall. All right, sorry.
After assembling a good team, he got the boys to start playing good football. They have an insane connection on the pitch and they're always playing fluid football. Previous ones which had the big names. The mentality. Listen to how everybody talks, from the coaches to the players, and you'll see that there's been a huge switch. After losing Kylian Mbappe last summer, Luis Enrique said his team would be better without Mbappe. It was a brave statement back then, but it's turning out to be very...
I laughed at that in one of the live streams we did on this channel, hearing that, and I was like, that there's no way. Because I was just thinking PSG was going to just go into irrelevance. They already were kind of irrelevant, always with their stars, and I thought, yeah, they're not going to be better. That's a laughable statement.
Very correct. Even more so after their loss to Liverpool in the first leg at home, you could see the mentality in the way the players spoke. Vitinha literally declared that they were going to go and win at Anfield, a place a lot of opposing players and teams are usually scared to go. Hakimi said that they were ready to go and win the game they deserved to win. And you could see that they entered into that second leg at Anfield like a team with self-assurance. And this is something that you see in Luis Enrique teams. Remember back in 2017 when his Barcelona Barcelona side lost the first leg of their round of 16 tie to PSG 4-0. After that game, he said, if they can score 4 goals against us, we can score 6. And, well, guess what happened in the return leg? Enrique...
One of my favorite all-time reactions on the channel. That comeback by Barcelona, unbelievable.
He has instilled the right mentality into his team. Remember, they were also able to turn around the first leg deficit away from home in the quarter-finals last season against Barcelona. But in the seasons before, even with Messi, Neymar and Mbappe, they were unable to turn around a 1-goal deficit against Bayern in 2023. In fact, it was them on the receiving end of comebacks, particularly against Madrid in 2022. So, how did PSG get much better after losing Messi, Neymar and Mbappe? Well, they hired a top coach, started to build a proper project and changed the mentality of the team. That's how. But how far do you think this PSG team can go this season? Can they win the Champions League?
This is old. Not only did they win the Champions League, they dominated. Not only, they're probably going to win the Club World Cup. They're dominating there after beating Real Madrid just recently. So, yeah, PSG they're here. This is their time. And I definitely am caught off guard by it. Like I said, me and my wife, we just moved to Texas. We were getting settled here, getting to our first house and getting set up with a new job, a new career. And then I was getting back to YouTubing again and starting to get back into like looking at what's going on in football. And wow. All right, well, I'll see you guys in the next video. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. What has PSG done aside from build a squad of young, hungry talent and good tactics? What else have they done to get them where they're at? And what do you think they're going to do in the Club World Cup? All right, I'll see you guys in the next video.